everyone. Hey there, I am Marilyn Green, and you know who I am. I'm the girl behind. Girl, who don't you know? Well, you know what? I do know a lot of people, and I have some gentlemen, I mean, handsome looking men coming on, ladies. Stay tuned, stay tuned. Tell a friend, share, please, and tell them to come on and listen to this show today. I am doing Brothers Doing It, and it's my hope always to transform your mind one show at a time, because it's all only in the transformation of your mind that you actually change. You know, I heard someone say that your mindset is your superpower. So you always want to make sure that you are always transforming. So please share. All right. So the question for today, I believe, is: have you voted yet? Please, I want to hear from you. Throw your comments up there. You know, I want to hear from you. Have you voted yet? It's okay if you haven't, because tomorrow is the day. I was reading something that a good friend of mine, who is a pastor at one of the churches in East St. Louis, and he said it best for me. If I can find it, I'm going to find it. Okay, hold on here. All right. He said it best. He said, please go out and exercise your right to vote. Your voice, your vote. No vote, no voice. It's your choice. So it's important that you go out and vote. So that's my question for today. Have you voted? I also want to see people that's out there, you know, please say, hey, say hi or something to me. Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you voted. Tell me something. Okay, I know you're out there because I see 6 people that's live. Do I want more? Of course. If not, if you all are only 6, we're going to roll with this thing. Okay, so I'm looking at my script. I think I did everything here. Okay, so going forward, we have 3 to 4 dynamic men on today. We have Dr. Fred Echols. We have Johnnie Singleton. We have Mr. Shawn Lovings. Okay. They, like I said, there's some men that are doing it. I'm so proud and so happy that they took the time to even come on my show to share with you what they're doing in the community. So if there's nothing else, my question of the day, good evening, Miss Marilyn. Annabelle says no, she hasn't voted, but Anna, is that a no for today and a yes for tomorrow? Please tell me. I'm hoping. Okay, Estelle Ramos, you said yes. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. We need you to get out. I am here, Donna Kennett, Johnnie Singleton, your mama here. She is on. Gail Howard, hello. Okay, you guys need to get out there and vote. And good evening, Marilyn Green, Gwen B. Taylor, the wife of Mr. Taylor, who is going to be on our show. He is here now also. So we have Bruce Taylor, we have Fred Echols, we have Johnnie Singleton, and we have Mr. Shawn Lovings. Okay, so I think we will get started now. And the first person I think I want to bring up here would be, let me add him to the screen. Mr. Shawn Lovings, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And yourself?
I am good. Happy belated birthday. I'll be following you on
Not yet.
Not yet? When is it?
Scorpio season, but we're not to the 19th.
Okay, but anyway, I'm a Scorpion, so I've had my birthday already.
Hey, already.
So you know it ain't nothing like a party like a Scorpio party. Okay? I'm so happy that you could join us today. And what you're doing is so important. I know you do it with a lot of young men. But yes, I've done a show on please and thank you, okay? Because nowadays, people do not do the right thing. So tell us a little bit about you, Mr. Shawn Lovings, and what you got going on. Outside you're a dynamic super Scorpion. Tell us something else about you.
Well, let's just simply start with, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on this platform. And I've watched you too. I mean, since we've been introduced by a fellow classmate of mine from Jackson State, the Jackson State University, which is killing the game right now, 9-0. Let me.
Okay, go on and say it.
I got to give it up to my man Deion Sanders. One of my favorite players is welcomed at my university right now, and is really making HBCUs just stand out right now, and I'm loving it. But I am originally from St. Louis, born and raised. I moved away at 19 to attend Jackson State University. I lived there in Jackson after graduating, before getting married, moving to Atlanta. Um,
Mm,
Lived in Atlanta for 25 years, and I found myself coming back to St. Louis just this past May. I was an educator. Background, first off, was in marketing and advertising. I was a part of Upscale magazine, where I was over entertainment and fashion for Upscale on the corporate side of advertising, and later became the general manager of another publication out of New York called Uptown Magazine. Ran the Atlanta division with a Southeast division. And so, as the industry changed, I later moved into education as an art teacher. And what happened in that was, I found this love for working with kids. Never in my wildest dream would I thought that I'd be working with kids, to be quite
wow.
honest, because I
Why do
was
you say that? Let me stop right there. Why you say that about the kids? Because I kind of feel you, but go ahead.
Well, I'm the only child, had
Oh,
one and had one child and was done. I wasn't a, making babies kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
okay. I feel you.
you
I
know,
feel you. I
I
feel
say
you.
the practice thing is great, but the making part, oh Lord, I'm so glad
It's
this
just a
one.
little bit too much.
Hey, what? I'm glad this one is out of college. My daughter, she also attended the Jackson State
Yes.
University. She followed her mom and dad to Jackson State and graduated with a biochem engineering degree.
Okay.
So very proud of her. And and so like I was saying, I'm gonna get back to it. I ended up running these publications. The kids thing, like I say, wasn't really a kid guy. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
but found this magical love for the leadership that it took to actually guide these kids and have them
Oh,
respect you. And I was that brother who always wore a suit to school, so the kids, would see what to me, that's for me. I don't knock any other man in the school that I taught in, any other men that teach right now. I just want to look like a grown man when I'm at work.
come on.
This comfortable dress thing, that's cool, but that's just not for me. And my kids loved it. They respected. They will always remember me for it.
Hmm.
And so, making an impression on them, because a lot of them look like their fathers. But fathers come in and sit down with me. I look at them and I look at their kids. I go, okay. But you get upset
I
when
get it.
their sons say yes, sir, no, sir to me, but he say, huh, and what to you. And then they
Oh,
looking at their own kids like, wait a minute, you don't even say that to me. I say, because I look and I demand respect.
there you go.
So that's just me. Like, again, I don't knock anyone on how they carry themselves as long as they're doing the right thing with our youth.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So you're art teacher. You taught art.
I
Okay.
was. I was. I
Was
May May of this year, it was it. I want to work on my program and do everything just based on art of etiquette and teaching kids, young men and girls. I do girls as well about.
oh, do you?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. So I know that you have a book. Okay.
Mhm.
Does that book, do you teach from that book? Okay, I'm finna jump it on
Hey,
over there. I can add it to the
hey,
screen. Don't play
hey,
with
hey,
me.
hey,
Okay.
I do it so well. I wear it on my chest.
Okay.
Hey, I
I
told you my
heard that.
background: marketing and advertising, baby. Brandon, everywhere
I
I go.
know it. I
You
mean,
know,
but you got so many different hats. I mean,
yeah.
and let me just do a shout out to Miss Whitlow. Hi, Miss Whitlow. I saw you out there, Linda. So, you do so many different things, but this book right here, Mind Your Manners. Oh my,
Yes.
with Mr. Lovings, and your name, it seems like it just slides on in there. Okay, with Mr. Lovings, like I'm trying to love on y'all.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's I
getting
am.
to know your utensils.
Yeah.
Okay, now just go. Let me do the first thing here. When I was a child, we used to set the table at Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
Okay, but we're setting it the way that your mama, your daddy, whoever told you to set it. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
you might not have that extra fork. Let's go for it. You might not have that extra fork that's at the top, that you're supposed to use for dessert, I think. Okay.
There it is.
There you go. I might not have all that. So what you do is come in and educate and re-educate people. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's really I expose them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to really come in. I'm not the you know Martha Stewart and Julia Childs and all of them who come in and talk a certain way about how they, I keep it real, keep it really real with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't lie to them when I'm with my boys and my girls. We all chilling. I'm eating some wings. Oh yeah, guess what? We with them fingers. I am. But I don't order wings when I'm out in a setting. And so I show them more than just, even how to eat appropriate meals when you're out. You
Mm-hmm.
don't order certain things where it's finger food, so, you got to kind of expose them and let them know and be honest with them about who you are in this whole process too. So.
Right, right. So tell me about these characters. Everybody can see these characters up here.
Well,
This look
yeah.
like grandmama, grandmama Nim. You know how they say this grandmama and this Nim. Okay.
Granddad.
Yes, yes. So tell us a little bit about this book and how did you get these? You got some characters here.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. First of all, the book came about. I was teaching class, and it was Thanksgiving. It was during November, and it was several years ago. I had the kids do a placemat for Thanksgiving. Had them to draw their own, be creative. I did a
Mhm.
stencil where they already drew it for them, but then they can just decorate it and color it any way they want. And so as I did that, I saw them having a lot of fun with it. And I was like, well, I want you to take it home, set your table, use it as a guide to set your table.
Mhm.
And so the next year I looked at it and I was like, oh man, this is a business. let me look at this. So as I watched each class come in, because I taught from kindergarten through 5th grade, and at each class, I was like, this is a business. And I say, not only that, I can teach them during the month of November how to set the table,
Okay.
and that's what I did. I gave them the exposure that they needed to understand what each setting did. And so with that in mind, I was like, you know what a wonderful way to honor my family, because my grandmother taught me at 8 how to set the table for Thanksgiving. And
Mhm.
so that's what I did. I started looking at each thing around Thanksgiving that we use on the table and was just like, okay, my grandmother, she's the comfort of the family. Everyone comes to her and call her Granny and Aunt Ann. And so I made her the chair. My grandfather was the foundation. And so he became the table. And the plate is my uncle, my deceased uncle, which his name is Petey. And it was crazy how most of these characters all name started with one of the utensils. Petey the plate was my uncle.
Wow.
Um, Nita the napkin is my cousin. Fred Jr. is the salad fork. Fred
Okay,
Sr.
let me see if I
is
get it right. This one.
the smaller one, always the smaller. The smaller fork is the salad fork, and then the
I'll
larger
take your
fork.
class. I'll take your
Yeah.
class.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
come on.
I'm gonna teach. I'm gonna teach everybody on here something that they'll never forget. I'm gonna show you one thing from using your hands that would help you from here moving forward. But then Sierra the spoon is my daughter. Carolyn the cup is my mom, and then Alvin the knife is the only one that doesn't start with a K. But he was very much a big part of my family. Very small knit in the home family, and my 3 cousins that I spent a lot of time growing up with. So that's how I came up with that, to honor my family, create a legacy that my daughter and the rest of my family could always go, man, that was my dad that started this. And and the things that I do in the community for the kids, just to kind of keep it going and brand my name in it in the process,
Of course, of
that
course.
last name, Mr. Lovings.
That's Mr. Lovings. So how
Absolutely.
can we get this book? Estelle Ramos said that she would love to have a copy. Okay, she's
Oh,
just starting to teach etiquette to her class. What is it? Girls on Purpose. This is Linda Whitlow is saying, this is great. Our kids need to know proper etiquette. So
yes.
how can we get this book? Is it Amazon.com? I don't think
Yes,
I've
you can get it on Amazon.com. You can just type in "Mind Your Manners with Mr. Lovings." It'll start to pop up. Um, So yes, you could definitely get it there. I'm really trying to push people there. A lot of folks are like, why don't you sell it on your site? Well, I did very well on my site, but I am
Mhm.
trying to reach the bestseller list on Amazon as well, so I can get my badge, which I'm very close to getting it. So a few of you all that make a purchase today might actually push me over to bestseller. Definitely go to Amazon.com and put in Mind Your Manners with Mr. Lovings.
Okay, sounds like and so if people want to find you, they can go to your website. I got your website
Yes,
in your up
yes.
here too. www.artofetiquette.net.
.net. Yes, yes.
And make
Somebodyhead.com.
Yeah, let me just throw it up there real quick because it's not .net. Because I
.net.
went to .com and it was talking about, yeah, you can get this domain, but it's 200 and some odd
Right.
thousand
Yeah.
dollars just
Trust
to
me,
get that.
I
I'm like,
wanted it, but I wasn't about to buy it.
okay, so yeah, so please go there, to his website. It's really nice because he really tells about how he started, how it was Atlanta based and things of that nature. Go there, okay, Mr. Lovings. Also, you can reach him,
Yeah.
okay, and reach out to him because all these different things out here, everybody needs etiquette. They need it. They need to know. And I love what you said about eating chicken wings. Their chicken wings be looking good and everybody have them, but the way folks be eating it, it's the kind that you take home and go look at Netflix with. You do not sit there and start eating on some chicken wings. I've seen people go so far as to lick their fingers, and I'm looking at them like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a proper time and place for that, but
Get a
just
to-go order. Get a
yeah,
to-go.
absolutely. But
Yeah.
no, I said that there was something I wanted to show you and all your viewers as well that's going to
Mhm.
help you. So follow along with me, okay? Real quick before you move on to the next person, I want to
I
share
know.
this with you.
I got you.
All
Okay.
right. So what I want everyone to do is on your left hand, put up a 4 and palm facing you. Turn your palm facing you.
Okay.
All right. Put up a 2, and again palm facing you. So it's like 4, 4, and 2, right?
Okay. Wait, I'm confused. I'm kind of slow.
All right. Left hand, put up a 4 on your left hand. Your left
Okay, I
hand.
got it. I got it. On the
4.
other one, it's 2. I
It's
got it.
2, right? Palm facing you, right? So when
Mhm.
you watch this. So I'm gonna aim. Let me do this here. I want to just go ahead and do it right. This is my teaching table. I'm gonna aim everything down. Okay.
Okay. Okay. And I'm
All
gonna
right.
remove this thing so
So
everybody can see you better.
all right.
Okay.
So this 4, right here symbolizes the fork. All right. The four
Okay.
tens on the 14s on the fork. You see that matches your 4 on your finger. All right.
Okay.
And over here, your 2, that's your knife and your spoon. Okay, that means that the 2, the larger finger right here, your middle finger
Mm-hmm.
is the knife. The shorter finger is the spoon. So as long as you do like this at the table, you'll never get confused. The fork is always on the left, and then the 2 fingers on your right is a knife and spoon. So you can start there because after that, every utensil you eat from the outside coming in to the plate.
Okay.
So you'll understand that the smaller fork, larger fork,
Mm-hmm.
salad fork, dinner fork. So you start with your salad first course, then you move on to your main course, which would be dinner. If you have soup, of course, that soup spoon to be on your right. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just a little quick lesson. And then of course
That
your
was
dessert
very quick.
spoon and
I mean,
fork.
I probably
But
need to take a class.
well, yeah, I mean, but there are so many, and I teach them with the 4s, 4 in your stomach to the edge of the table. When you sit, you can do a quick check. That's how far you should be from the table when you put your napkin in your lap. So you're not pushed all up on the table or you too far back. It's you check your 4s. I tell kids all the time, check your 4s. That's the edge of the table to your stomach. Drop your hand down. You ain't got to be all up here. Just put it right here. Drop it. Put your napkin in your lap, and you're fine. And then
Oh,
check your 4 and 2.
that is too funny. So we got Shauna Roth. I had her on please and thank you. And she said, that's awesome. I'm a certified etiquette consultant from KC. She can tell you when she came on, she destroyed me. Okay. She destroyed me about this soup thing. I'm still messed up, Shauna, so about the eating of the soup and not cracking my crackers in there and all that. I'm like,
Oh
what?
my God. No, don't do it.
Okay, no, you supposed to get the little package and crunch it up and pour it in there. That's how you do it. Okay, let's just get this right. But anyway, John Williams says this pro tip with the fingers is great. Okay, And it
Well,
is.
I try to make it easy for kids to remember, especially if I don't have them for a long time to take them through a course. I mean, just all I need is literally 45 minutes to an hour, and I can get you at least exposed. I'm not here. I'm like, look, I'm not the certified like Shawn or Shawn. I would love to talk with you offline because I
I
do
got her
travel.
info.
Yeah,
I
I
got
do
her info.
travel with my things that I do, and I do notice this. Not to take anything from a female who is doing this, but it's something about those girls who pay so much attention to me, and a lot of times it's sometimes absenteeism of a father in the home. My tone is different. I love working with my sisters who are doing this because I think we tag team real well, and it just helps because it takes a man to show a girl how to walk down the street for me because having
Mhm.
daughters, hey, you're supposed to be on the inside, not the outside. And I demonstrate that they kind of like, oh, okay, I get, but you still can learn it from anyone for that matter. But it's
I
just,
found.
it ain't too many brothers out here doing this. And so that's why I feel like I have
Mm,
a nice little niche market, but it's all open for all of us. We all can eat.
that's right. Gwen Taylor says, great demonstration and reminder. So that's good. Well,
Thank
you
you.
know what? I know I got other people on. I love talking to you, of course.
Absolutely. I appreciate
Okay,
the
and
time.
I appreciate you coming on, because with Shauna Roach, Shauna, drop your stuff in the chat. Or if you want to hook up with me, Sean, later,
Yes,
I'll send
I
you her
will.
information.
Absolutely.
Because she messed me up with that soup. I'm still messed up. I'm traumatized. In fact, I need to do a show on that. Okay. Okay. Annabelle said she was blowing on her soup today. She told us don't blow on your soup. I
Right.
mean, she
What y'all
messed
do?
me
Y'all
up.
diving in and not moving your spoon the proper way too, probably.
Yes. And I was like,
Right.
no, no, I don't want no re-education on that. That's the way I do it. Okay. I just won't order no soup out. I need to get my stuff going on. Like I'm looking at Netflix, baby. I can't see nothing but this. Look. Okay. So, but anyway, thank you so much for coming on. And I got
Absolutely. Thank
three
you for
other
having me.
guests coming up, and it should be just as fun. I'm moving on, but if you want to hang around and stuff later, I can put all you guys up there again. You might think of something that you want to share or whatever. That's certainly up to you. But certainly, we thank you so much. I know y'all got some hand claps out there, so hand clap them up with that little bitty icon. Y'all know what to do. Okay.
Okay.
Shauna Rose says I mean, Shauna, I really shouldn't say nothing to you after you messed me up about that soup. But anyway, you guys go and get that book. Get the book, okay? Help a brother out. If he's trying to be a bestseller, why don't you help him out? Because guess what I know?
Thank you.
When you win, when he win, I win. Okay? Estelle Ramos is buying the book right
Thank
now.
you,
Buy the book.
Estelle. Thank you. Thank
Let
you.
him come in and work with y'all. These kids need some help. Y'all know it. Okay? But thank you
Absolutely.
so they do. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm going to drop you down into my green room.
All
And
right.
thanks so much, Sean. I appreciate you.
All
Okay.
right. You're welcome. Thank you for having me again, Marilyn.
Sure. All right then. Now, hey, y'all that don't know how to do y'all soup, y'all need to catch up with Shauna too, because she gonna mess you up forever mentally. So I want you guys to be traumatized like I am. Okay. I don't think I had no soup since she came on. She just messed me up. Okay. But anyway, moving further, we got Mr. Johnnie Singleton coming up. He's so smooth and so cool. He is. Okay. So I'm going to bring him up now. Mr. Singleton,
How you doing? How you doing?
what's going on? Look at that smooth, velvety voice. Okay. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, how you doing? See?
I'm, I'm doing all right. Thank you for having me on your platform. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so this young man here, tell us where you're from and tell me what you do. That's going to be so important to me. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm excuse me. I'm originally from East St. Louis. Graduated from East St. Louis Senior High School. I got my accounting degree from Alabama A&M University, SWAC. So I heard Mr. Loving say he went to Jackson State. So so we in the same conference. So shout out to him, SWAC Love. So I got my accounting degree from Alabama A&M University. Actually started playing tennis in high school just as something to do.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend and I, there was the tennis coach at the time coming around all the classrooms, just asking people to sign up. And we figured we tried out. We never seen a tennis racket in real life. And we played all 4 years in high school. We actually walked on to the team at Alabama A&M University. Did not
Wow.
expect to do that. Played all 4 years there, and I've been playing ever since. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my tennis story. And then about 5 or so years ago, one of my best friends and I, we were just sitting around talking and heard about podcasts, and we figured maybe we start one, because every time we go out, every time we're on the phone, we just have conversations just about stuff, like everything that we're interested in, whether it be movies, television, just current events, things going on in the world. And we figure, you know what, let's just try a podcast. We see other people doing it, so let's just see what it's about. And we've been doing that since 2017 and still going strong now.
And your podcast is so cool, and I love the way y'all play off each other. But I think you forgot that guy is your best friend, I think, or your best
best
friend.
friend.
Did y'all go to school together too, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we actually went to high school together. We met in high school. We got really close in college because we went to the same college as well. And then even after college, we both moved back to the St. Louis area and have been hanging out ever since. And that's where our bond really formed.
Okay, I love when you said East St. Louis, because I'm from East St. Louis. Okay?
Gotta let the people know. Gotta let them know.
Hey, let them know. Let them know what's up. East St. in the house.
Gotta let them know.
And then you went ahead and said something about, I think you said a flyer where East St. Louis Senior High. What school did you go to?
I went to East Side.
Come on, hey,
East
what
St.
other
Louis
school
High
is
School.
there?
That's right.
What other school is there?
That's
okay?
right.
I have to throw that out there. Don't nobody be getting mad. All you Lincoln nice folks, you know how they be rowdy. But anyway, I love the fact that you talked about tennis and you said something pretty profound. You didn't even know anything about it.
Not a thing. Not a thing.
But,
go ahead. Oh no, had never watched it on TV at the time. Had never seen a tennis racket in real life. Never thought I would even think or attempt to play it. And the opportunity presented itself, and I just decided to go for it. And here I am, almost 20 or so years later, still playing.
Okay, you still playing, and you teaching kids. And what's the response of the little kids in East St. Louis when you start talking about tennis? Or do they come out there all happy? Do they come out and say, "Who you think you talking to, Mr. Singleton?" What do they do?
I was kind of expecting that, like who you think you're talking to. So when you the younger kids, I would say like maybe 10 and younger, they're usually really eager to get out there and play because it's something fun. They get to get out there and just swing the racket and they're just happy to hit a ball. When you get the older kids that's their first time playing, you get a little resistance, but once you actually get them to hitting the forehands and backhands correctly where they can actually connect, once they get more comfortable in it, then that's when they start to have fun. At first, because they're so used to like basketball and football and cheerleading, the things that come really easy to them, which is, it's no problem about that. But tennis is different. Tennis takes a lot of practice, a lot of repetition in order to get things right. And I think they get really frustrated when they can't pick up something right away. And that's where learning patience comes in as well. I tell them right off the bat, like, you're not going to be able to get this in the first 10 swings. You just won't be able to do it. I don't think anybody really does. And that's when they start to learn patience. So after 10 or so minutes, 15 minutes, when they actually get the rhythm of how things go, they get more comfortable and things get more, things get better for them out there on the court. So it's great to see. Okay.
So you guys, you can catch him on East St. Louis CTA.org, and his podcast is oversaturated. Is oversatthepod.com. Got it.
Yep.
But I did listen to you with that podcast. Okay. So you all talk about things that just happen to just be happening in real life right then, right? Okay.
Yes.
For example, what did you all say about, I know I'm gonna get it wrong, but Cardi B's husband's friend who got killed? Did you all talk about that at all on your podcast?
We did. So we actually,
what's the name?
Take off. Yeah.
Take off. Okay, come on now, go for it.
Yeah. So
talk about him.
We did. So it's a weekly podcast. We drop every Monday on all streaming platforms and YouTube. So we actually just talked about this on our episode that came out yesterday. just basically saying how, you know, it's tragic how these rappers and somebody like Takeoff, who's a part of the Migos, they've been in the rap game for about 10-ish years, even though he was 28. They came out when they were fairly young. So being pretty, you can say that they're elder statesmen in hip hop. They should be able to move different. Like the things that they did before they blew up, before they got big. You
Ah,
can't really
okay.
do this, can't really do and hang out with the same people that you did before, because you're in a whole nother just bracket in life now. Like they've
Mm-hmm.
crossed over, so they're doing commercials. There's, you know, just doing so many different things, even outside of rap, where you just can't really hang out with the same crowd that you've hung out with in the past, because things could go left and things can end up happening that end up really unfortunate, like what happened to Takeoff. So we just try to talk through these types of situations, try to get an understanding, and try to offer advice to maybe up and coming rappers or anybody else that's looking to get into the entertainment industry, because we hate to see things like this, and things like that in particular have been happening so much recently. It's like it's almost every week that we talk about something like that, because something is always going on.
Yeah. Well, you did make a quote on the forum. You said, never be afraid to try something different. Not only, I think you were talking about tennis, but you were
Mhm.
also just talking about it then, that once you move to a certain level,
Mhm.
some things that you got to try different.
That's
You
right.
got to move to a different area. You got to stop eating chicken wings in public.
Stop blowing on your suit.
You got to don't mention that soup. I get the shakes. Okay, but you got to do something different. Like stop blowing on your soup. You're right.
Yeah.
But you do never be afraid to try something different. And
Mhm.
you speak volumes about that, not only in what you do, but you're speaking volumes on what other people should be doing. Never be afraid to try something
Mhm.
different.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, but go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I was just going to say exactly. Like I always want to see our people win, especially the youth. Like I know they get so comfortable in seeing what they see on TV and magazines and social media and things like that, but there are other things out there to do. That you can play tennis, you can play, you can do things outside of what's the norm, and who knows what opportunities doing those different things will bring to you.
That's right. You're exactly right. Because if for you to talk about tennis, now let me just give you where are you all playing at in Virginia Place? Where y'all playing at?
So there are 3 USTA certified tennis courts in Lincoln Park where we do our lessons in the summer.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, now that's new. Okay, I'm a straight up baby boomer. They ain't had no tennis courts. If they did, somebody else is doing something else on them. When
Yeah.
I used to go over to Lincoln Park to swim, they didn't have that. So that's a big thing. So do you find, just getting back to the tennis aspect,
Mhm.
do you find that you have trouble recruiting and keeping, or what?
Not necessarily. So we really operate currently off of word of mouth. So we do have a Facebook page, the East St.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Community Tennis Association, where we do a lot of the marketing and promotion of our program. So we actually just wrapped up our outdoor program back in October, where every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12:30, we every hour we taught a different age range of children.
Oh, really?
Yeah, starting from ages 5 going all the way up to 18. And then on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we have open play for adults. So adults that know how to play and want to come out and play, they can come out and play. And then adults that want to get lessons can come out again, get lessons as well from 9 to 11. So we just wrapped up our outdoor season, and currently looking for tennis courts indoor that we can continue our sessions throughout the fall and winter, because we want to keep the momentum going, because we actually had a pretty great turnout of both youth and adults for the entire spring and summer. So we're trying to keep that going.
Okay, so if you're out there and you got a tennis place indoor, you guys need to hook up with Mr. Johnnie Singleton and stuff, and check him out and, you know, provide that for them, you know. And I always keep saying this, not meaning when he win, you win. He's taking those little kids and they could be doing something that's not nice, okay? But he's taking them and showing them the right way, you know. And I know he's a good role model. So somebody out there probably does have an indoor, okay? When one win, we all win. That's right. That's how I feel about it. And so if you're out there and you know of some place indoor to continue this great opportunity for the children in East St. Louis, Donna Kennedy said, I am so proud. That's his mama, y'all. I had to say it, okay?
That's my mom.
That's my mama. But anyway, if you got somebody out there, please let him know. Let him know.
Definitely.
You can contact him right here. Okay, JohnnyB06@gmail.com. Let him know, you know, because we all need to work together. I am so adamant today about when you win, I win. Okay, so you're working hard for those little kids in East St. Louis that they didn't know tennis until Venus.
Venus and Serena. That's right. That's right.
All they know. Okay, that's like right. They don't know nobody else. They don't know the people that I know, the Billie Jean Kings, and you know, I can go back and date.
Yep.
Yes, Arthur Ashe, you know. So here's the question. She said, do you plan on introducing pickleball for the older crowd? Are you familiar with pickleball?
I am familiar with pickleball. That's actually something that the board we're discussing right now. So hopefully next summer that's something we can introduce. I haven't actually played myself, but I've seen it. And it does look really fun. So hopefully that's something we can introduce next summer.
Okay, good. Thanks, Anna, for that. I've heard of pickleball too, but you know, when I think about pickles, I think about food. But nevertheless, it's stuff like pickleball. Okay, but we'll call you later, Anna, and say what you talking about. But anyway, so you guys, we do need for you guys to reach out to him, you know, and help him. You know, he needs the kids, and it's just not him doing it. You got to do the work at home as well. You know, introducing them to different what's that, racks and right. You know, because I need a class for older people that's what does 15 and love mean? What does this mean? What's, you know, I don't do nothing but just try to look at people's outfits. I got problems. Okay?
And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with that either.
That's where I'm coming. Okay. And I'm waiting on somebody to start a argument or something. You know, I'm looking for that part. You know, I'm from East St. Louis, straight out of East St. Louis. Let's go for the fight. What's going on? But anyway, nevertheless, I got somebody on here who's going to be talking about violence. I guess he's going to have to help me. Okay, because that's where it is. But is there anything else you want to tell us, you know, while we got you on here about what you're doing?
Yes. So you guys can actually donate to the organization. So that's East St. Louis CTA.org. You can make donations directly on our website. You can sign yourself or your youth up for lessons as well. And you can check out all of the our newsletter. You can sign up for our email list to get our newsletter monthly and to get updates on what we have coming up. So we appreciate you guys for checking that out, and follow us on Facebook as well for any updates for new programs that we have for the fall and winter that are coming up. And then you can also listen to Oversaturated the podcast on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we're also on YouTube as well. So make sure you subscribe to us on your favorite platform. And we do have merch for sale. We have hoodies, t-shirts, coffee mugs. That's also on oversatthepod.com. We have a merch section, so definitely check that out as well.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to talk to you because I want to be a big time podcaster like you when I grow up. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And so I got to get the claps up there. Yes, everybody do the claps as we get ready to transition to our next person. And this next person is somebody y'all like anyway. Somebody who do some food. Okay. Thanks so much, Mr. Singleton. I'm going to drop you down, I believe.
Thank you.
If I can get myself together. Okay. There we go. Thanks so much. So the next person we got up, okay, I just love him. You know, I told him that I was watching him when I was there. I didn't order no chicken wings. They ain't have no chicken wings. But he is I'm going to bring him up if I can move this thing the way it's supposed to be moving. Let me get over here. And it is not. Kiara, can you add him to the stream for me? Okay, thank you so much.
There we go.
Hey there, Chef Bruce Taylor.
How
How
you
you
doing?
doing?
Doing
Hey,
well.
that's good. That's
Glad
good.
to
Thank
be
you
here.
so much. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. But
Right.
we know now you're a chef,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
And we know that you're gonna have to tell us how you get into all this, okay? Because we was talking behind the scenes, and you was talking about what you used to work in,
First of
what
all, I
you.
want to give honor to God. I want to give honor to God for allowing me to be here tonight, and give a shout out to my mama Antonia West, who is struggling with Alzheimer's in Atlanta,
Oh, okay.
Georgia. And I'm just honored to be here. I'm grateful. Is I just have an attitude of gratitude each and every day I wake up, and I'm just blessed to be able to have the gift to, um, just put spices and things together and make things twerk together in doing food. And so I started this career in 1989, just kind of like free falling a little bit, if you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Worked for General Motors for a while and got laid off, and then decided, you know what, I got to find a way, somewhere to, to get something behind me at that particular time, because I was making really good money at General Motors. And
Mm-hmm.
um, I thought General Motors was going to be it. And so it wasn't. So found another path with the culinary thing. And so started the culinary journey in 1989 down at the Marriott Hotel in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, Georgia, banquet
Oh.
chef. Not
Mm-hmm.
not even no culinary experience basically, but just watched, and it all just came. See, one thing I learned that your gift is going to make room for you,
That's right.
you know, and that was my gift, and I didn't know it, and I didn't really, pursue it like I should have been,
Mm-hmm.
at that time, because life comes. Life comes and it shows up. So as I began to work through it and uh, what I want to say, interact with other chefs and learn from them, being with no real culinary experience, I
Mm-hmm.
began to take off and just watch and learn and
That's
listen
right.
and learn to hush
Right.
my mouth, you
Come on.
know, because sometimes we want to ask a whole lot of questions. Just sometimes just be quiet. A good student knows how to suck it in.
Come on.
You
I
know,
love that. I
yeah,
love
no,
that.
yeah, a good student knows how to suck it in. And a lot of your questions are going to be answered if you just wait on that moment. So
Just
start dealing with a lot of good chefs, man, and learning and getting up under their wing and learning different sauces and salads, and learned about the etiquette what Mr. Loving was talking about years and years ago, how to set a table, So we finally get our chance. You say, you know what, I'm going to culinary school. So I found a little time in between having to pay rent, for pay bills, get this done, pay child support.
I just love him. Go
Huh?
ahead. I just love. I mean,
So I
you're
had to
so
find
real
some
and so
time to get in there.
authentic. You're
Huh?
authentic. You're
Oh, I'm gonna
authentic
keep
and
it 100
genuine.
with you.
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
keep
You keeping it
as
100.
the kids say, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil for real, because the
Okay.
truth needs no support. You don't have
None.
to. You ain't got to second guess it. You ain't got to argue about it. You just got to tell the truth and let it be.
You're right.
So 2009, go to culinary school, do really well with my sauces because I got a head up on what the instructor is asking and looking for, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just excited. I'm still working at the Marriott Hotel, and I'm just enjoying life. And
That's
so
right.
life did show up though. I was at that particular time, but then I went into a dark place. Oh my gosh.
Well, you
So
did say something here, and I put it up there for really quick that you were life's obstacle survivor.
ooh, I'm talking about
Ooh, child.
you don't really
Ooh,
want to
child.
get too deep into that. You want to talk
Maybe
about
that's
some
another
abuse.
show.
You
I
want
get
to
you on
talk about
another.
some abuse. You want to talk about uh some drug abuse, some physical abuse, to uh adultery, all of that, that had to play a part in this journey, on this journey.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna get
See,
you
see,
back for that
if we
one.
ain't
I'm
went,
gonna
if
get
we
you
have,
back.
Huh?
I'm gonna get you back for that one. We'll talk offline. I'm gonna have to get you in so you can be in several of my shows.
Oh, we can.
but,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
understand. But
Yeah,
getting
we got
back
some
to
stuff
being
with
that
it.
chef, okay.
Yeah,
So I've seen you, and you got a lovely wife, Miss Gwen, and
Miss
she
Gwen.
said
Yeah.
hello to you out there, right?
Mhm.
But one of the things that I know that everybody goes through life. There we go. Hey, Bruce, Chef Taylor, love, 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 smooches. You know what I'm saying. But
Right.
anyway, you got a really, really nice wife.
Yes,
Everybody
ma'am.
have life obstacles, and everybody
Sure.
really work to survive. Just true.
Yeah.
But when
Oh,
you
yeah.
come to being a chef, okay,
Yes.
that love for it and your passion for it, I've seen it before.
Is that
Okay,
right?
I have seen it. When I saw you at your wife's, Gwen, please put it
It,
in there about your
it,
board game. Please put it
yeah,
in
it
there.
was the launch party for Flip That House, the board game.
That's it. So please put
Yes.
that in there for the people to know
Mhm.
that what she's doing. So there are some two entrepreneurs together, business partners and
Yes.
all that. But I
Oh,
saw him there and he had a certain passion. And I don't have a picture of this. I have some pictures of some of your food
yeah.
coming up. I don't have a picture of this, but your wife really goes crazy about, I think it's bananas false,
Banana
false
Foster. Yes.
banana Fosters. I don't have a
Yes.
picture of that, but
Uh-huh.
everybody was really standing in line trying to get
Right.
that particular one. But
Right.
not he's very, very passionate. He's
Love
very,
it.
very serious.
Love it.
You can tell it when you see him of what
Amen.
he's doing. And I do have a picture of some of the dishes that you have
Okay.
that your
All
wife
right.
gave me, and I'm
She
gonna
put
add it.
yeah, you
Okay.
did okay. Okay.
Okay.
We
So
that's looks like a little lobster.
this
Maine
looks like
lobster.
some lobsters or crab legs or
Yeah,
something.
that's the crab legs and lobsters and all the stuff in the bottom of that pan.
Okay, look, then we got this. Tell us.
But that's
I mean,
such a
so let
charcuterie
me ask
board.
you this. Let me ask you this. When
Mhm.
you are doing this board right here, do you have it already drawn down
No,
before you
ma'am.
do it?
No,
Or
ma'am.
is it
No,
just
ma'am.
popping like that?
It just comes to you like an art.
Uh-huh.
So what you're doing really, you're just strategically placing things in different array of orders. See, now I would never make that same tray again like
Mm,
that unless my client requested that like that. But if I'm to do another one, I would probably do another different design to be all total different.
okay.
You see what I
Here go
mean?
another one. You got
Right.
fruit cups and all kind of stuff
You
going
see
on
what
right
you
here.
see what you're seeing there is a breakfast, like a breakfast brunch I did for a lady. And she had salad, fruits, beignets, biscuits. She had shrimp and grits and
Oh,
chicken and waffles. And yeah, I went over there, went to her home and laid it out in her kitchen, man, and she just
in a
enjoyed
kitchen.
it. In her own kitchen. I took over her kitchen. I do kitchen takeovers.
Oh,
I'll call them kitchen takeovers. I'll come to your house and take your kitchen over.
I love it. Okay. I love it.
I'm just gonna outright take your kitchen over and do some stuff in your kitchen. You comfortable at your home. So guess what? I'll come and take that thing over and we'll make it twerk.
Okay, so Gwen has put up that Brucey B's Catering Company,
Yes.
and we got it. And you can go to the website of Brucey B's.
Yes. I think you just posted brucebeescatering.com. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. You can look on there and see we don't put prices on there because prices change on a week. You sit down, you want to make a meal or have
Mm-hmm.
an event. I will sit down an event plan with you, and make sure that you got everything you need for your event.
That's right. And also you can also write him,
Yes.
bctaylor2171 at gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
So I got some more pictures up here. Let's go on here.
Okay, keep going.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's actually, I don't know, this look like some grits or some.
That's grits over there. You got shrimp. See, the shrimp and the grits are separate because some people don't want shrimp in their grits.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Mm-hmm.
separate that for them and we give them a little breakfast potatoes. You see that look on that guy's face? You see
I'm
that look on that?
serious.
Look at that guy's face. He look like he's studying something.
He's studying it.
He look like he
Precision.
is just in deep thought there, just with putting on some sauce.
Okay, and that person should be you. Is that you?
That is
That looks
me.
like you.
Yes,
Okay.
that looks just like me. That guy there is looking like he's like just studying the whole situation going on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Amen. I'm
So,
telling you.
and
Yeah.
here's
So
the
just
next.
another, and see here another, just another little fruit tray. I just did something different with the watermelon. That's all.
That
Made some
watermelon
different
is
shapes.
cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I do an array of fruit trays, and I do party wings. You can book me for your Super Bowl party.
That's right.
Whatever you need. I'll get you some wings, some fruit, some appetizers, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm. And your wife has put you on here. I love the business partnership here. You can book him. Just
Oh
make a
yes,
call, 510 five
yes,
seven nine 1424.
amen.
Call him. He's very serious and he's
Yes,
moving with precision and
right.
intention. That's what I
Well,
saw.
thank you,
Okay. He
sweetie. I
was razor
appreciate that.
sharp for what, yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. I definitely saw it. But no, I did look at it. That's why I
You
asked
seen
you, I
that?
said, can you
Yeah.
be on my show? Because I wanted people
Yes.
to see
I like that.
that these brothers, and you kind of touched on a little bit about some things in your life journey, but that tells me that you still was razor focused as to what you wanted to
Oh
do.
my gosh.
Okay,
Yes.
it was
Only
the
by the
razor
grace of the
focus,
Most High. Only by God. Only by the grace.
only by His grace.
Yes.
But you
Only by the
kept
grace.
moving. You kept moving, and my show is
Yes.
about transforming your mind, meaning that you got to
Yes.
change your mindset at all times.
Yeah.
So if Chef Bruce didn't give up, everybody out there don't give up either. Just
Please
keep
don't.
moving because you have a higher calling than
Hmm.
what you think you're in right now. So
That's
yeah,
right.
that's
That's
good.
right.
That's really good. So
I'm
I
so
have
glad to have you.
here.
I'm so
Yeah, you
glad you
said
had me
here.
on here.
Of course, you said one of the things you think about of what made you motivate you or what you want to give to people is your experience, your strength, and your hope for a new life. Okay,
Yes. Hmm.
you wrote that in there. So
Yeah.
that right there, you always have to take your experience, and that experience
Hmm.
is what's going to give you the strength that you need. Okay,
Right.
and all
Right.
that together, you bottle it together, you got a cocktail of hope
That's
for
right.
a new life.
Yes.
Okay, I just went on and
Yes.
did that right off the cuff. Okay, I put
Thank
it
you.
all
I
together.
appreciate that. Well,
Well,
I got
for
a
you.
guy at work that I work with, and he's struggling a little bit, and so I try to give him a little encouraging every day, to strive forward. Don't be stuck in the past, and we'll get stuck in that past
Real quick and don't want to
real
move.
quick.
But
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank
And
you.
that's the information there. And if you look
Yes,
at the chat,
BruceBeachCatering.com.
his information is in there. And I'm hoping that Gwen put her information in there about her game.
Yes,
Okay. And
flip
she
that
was on
house the
one of my
board game.
shows. Right. There we go. Right there at the launch party for Flip That House, theboardgame.com. That's amazing right there. I do this
Yeah.
every time, Gwen, when you come on, that you need to go to Flip That House, theboardgame.com. And I think
Yes.
that Annabelle, who is on, she got that game and everybody's excited about that game. It's about, in fact, it says it's not a game. What does it say?
Right. Well,
It's not a
it's
game.
gonna teach you how to navigate through flipping houses and stuff
That's
like that,
it.
and have fun
That's
while you're
it.
doing it.
That's it.
That's why it says it's just not a game. You can learn some information. You can get some valuable information from the game, from playing the game. Like some people didn't know what a AVR is, and that's after repair ARV, after repair value on a home.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people
Terminology.
don't know that. They didn't, but you
Yes.
learning those little
Yes.
statements and things in that board game.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
that's what it's all about. It's just about enhancing a community and our own people. We need to be uplifted so bad. It's pathetic.
You better know it. So thank you so much, Chef
Yes,
Bruce.
my
I
pleasure.
appreciate you coming
Love you.
on.
Love
And
you.
I love you too. And I appreciate you and your wife. Keep doing what you're doing in the community because we
Yes.
surely do need you. We surely do
Thank you.
need you, because
Thank
I
you.
know that cooking and that art of culinary art and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff, it is more than just putting stuff together. It's a love. It's a
Yeah.
passion.
Oh, well, you know
It's
what
an
I
art.
tell people all the time? You'll see the end product, but you don't see what go into to get into that end product.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into it.
Yes,
So
it does.
thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
Very
All
much.
right.
I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. So I'm going to remove him and we're going to bring up my last guest. Oh my goodness. I see him cheesing down there already because he's in my green room. Okay. So, but he is coming here and I'm telling you something. Okay. When you see him, I done had 4 handsome men on my show This is the first brothers doing it, and I'm kind of digging it. So I don't know, sisters. I'm not going for the brothers from now on, okay? Because they some handsome, good-looking men that's doing the doggone thing in the community. But I'm gonna bring him up right now, Dr. Echols.
Marilyn Green, how are you doing this evening?
You know I'm doing well. Thank you for being on my show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I'm gonna put it out there right now. Yes, he is young. Okay, y'all. Okay, yes, he is an MD. Yes, he does know what he's talking about. And he told me earlier that gray in there is looking good. Okay, I'm gonna say that, but he said COVID-19 made him get that. So let's just start it off like that, Dr. Echols. Tell us a little bit about your story of who you are, and we'll get into Cure Violence Global in a minute. But tell us.
Sure. So I'm a native of Atlanta, Georgia. So I went to Clark Atlanta University. Kudos to the other HBCU attendees that was on the show this evening. Went to medical school at Boston University School of Medicine, and then did time in the military, including a tour in Afghanistan doing Operation Enduring Freedom. And afterwards, I helped with served on the Air Medical Advisory Board, helping develop policies with the aviation community for the United States Navy. After which, I served as the Chief of Communicable Disease for the Illinois Department of Public Health, which is where I met Marilyn Green. During my time there, I led the state's response to the Ebola pandemic, as well as Zika virus and other public health emergencies. Served as a C-suite executive with St. Louis County Department of Public Health, and then ultimately served as the Director of Health and Health Commissioner for the City of St. Louis, where I led the city's COVID-19 response, as well as implemented the city's first evidence-based violence prevention program, where we saw a 26% reduction in homicides during the first full year of implementation. And now I'm here with Cure Violence Global as the Chief Executive Officer. So again, I'm grateful to be here.
Good. You rolled that off, man, like you had a prompter. What's going on? You are a professional. So Dr. Echols is heavy, okay? He just looks like he's a little unassuming, but no, he knows what he's doing, you know. He is the man, and Annabelle puts it best, awesome accomplishments, okay? But there's one thing I heard that I love, that you kept on moving. This is what my show is about. It's like moving, you know, moving to what exactly you were wanting to do in life. Now, I talked about him just a little bit about this banner of who he said he was, okay? He's a pursuant of social and health justice, okay? So let's move into what you're doing now, okay, which is Cure Violence Global. Tell us about that.
Right, so Cure Violence Global is an evidence-based, implements an evidence-based model for violence prevention. So for such a long time, violence prevention has been deemed to be a criminal legal issue, and we know what the impact of that has been. So we've had policies developed across the nation and in local jurisdictions that ended up funneling certain populations or disadvantaging certain populations, and resulted in the majority of the beds in prisons and jails being individuals who are minorities, although minorities account for, again, the majority of the population in the United States. And so when we think about systemic racism and issues related to intersectionality, you know, what we see in our criminal legal system is a manifestation of that. And so ultimately what we've done is penalize people rather than addressing the root cause of violence. And so we know when we look at violence through the lens of public health, it's really a social determinant of health. And what we're seeing occurring in our communities is really a manifestation of several communities being disadvantaged, ostracized, and suffering from years and even decades of disinvestment. And so what we have to do is really undo some of the damage that has been done over these last decades, even a century, where we really targeted and focused on individual people, treating them as if they're bad and attributing certain activities to a particular demographic versus, again, addressing the root causes of those issues.
Yeah, and Dr. Echols, when you talk about SDOH, social determinants of health, give us a definition on that. What exactly does that mean? Just a little briefing on social determinants of health, so everybody can just put it in the right perspective.
And so the social determinants of health are those things that influence how we live in the spaces where we live, work, and play. And so those are things such as, transportation, education attainment, job opportunities, housing, and violence is one of those things. And unfortunately, as I mentioned before, we typically silo these types of issues, and so violence prevention has been siloed as a criminal legal issue when it's really a public health issue, and we need to treat it as such.
Because when you say public health issue, meaning that it's affecting how people are really living, how they're actually living.
It
The
absolutely
violence. It does. But go ahead.
And it's connected to all the other social determinants of health. So you think about what's happening in communities that suffer from increased violence. People don't feel safe in their communities. You have increased violence in schools, so you have lower education attainment. You have lower access to health and social services. So even as the services are available, sometimes people don't feel comfortable going outside of their home because they're not sure if they're going to make it back or not. You have individuals who have increased levels of toxic stress. You have those communities are typically disproportionately impacted by chronic illnesses such as heart disease, obesity, chronic lung disease. And so there's a lot of things in violence begets violence, right? And so the more violence that you see in a community, the more violence that's going to happen. A lot of that is due to, when you have one incident of violence, you typically have retaliation that occurs. And so that cycle just continues. Again, and unfortunately, it typically occurs in those communities that have suffered from disinvestment, which typically are Black and brown communities across the nation.
Yeah. And so I read on your website, and you guys can go to their website. It's Cure Violence Global. It's www.cvg.org. It's really nice there. But one of the things that I see that you've been doing things in Baltimore, New York, New Orleans, Oakland. I see the Loiza and Puerto Rico. Okay. So you guys how do you choose where you go? Do you look at the data of what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see Chicago on here. Okay. It might be too big. But anyway, I don't see Chicago. I did know that you are going to be doing some things in East St. Louis, so I'm okay with that. So how do you determine where you're going with this? People call you and say, hey, we need you, or what?
So that's an excellent question. So we don't handpick organizations or jurisdictions where we do the work. We actually rely on individuals from those communities to reach out to us. And that's really important because we want to make sure that we are working with jurisdictions that are ready to implement a program like the Cure Violence Global Model. Oftentimes what we'll find is, the idea sounds great. When we really talk about health and social justice and utilizing a public health approach, some jurisdictions aren't ready for that. And so what we do before we even do the real work, we actually do what we call a readiness assessment.
Okay.
So the jurisdiction reaches out to us, we'll do a readiness assessment, which is when we'll go to the community. We'll have several listening sessions with the stakeholders across the community. So these stakeholders would include elected officials, academic institutions or representatives from health systems, FQHCs, academic institutions, religious organizations, as well as divisions of public safety and other stakeholders within the local government to see where their mindset is as it relates to violence. And because with our model, it really requires them to build out an ecosystem for community violence intervention, which means that the same system that has disadvantaged certain populations and funnel certain populations through the criminal legal system are now ready to undo that work and really help uplift those most vulnerable communities, not only work upstream to prevent people from being funneled to the criminal legal system, but also helping those individuals who may be justice involved stay out of the criminal legal system through the provision of proper support.
Okay, so if you come in there, they do the assessment, you find they're not ready. Do you all have the capacity, human capacity or resources to help them get ready? Because it's an issue because they've raised their hand and say, we got an issue. So what do you guys do? You else, help them with that readiness, that next step. This is what you need to do. Good question
Absolutely.
again.
So at the end of our readiness assessment visit, we actually give them a document, a report with our recommendations. And in some cases, what we'll require is, for additional education across city government or local government. And in other cases, we just have to wait for them to really get their ducks in a row because we realize that lives are at stake. So we don't want to lose their engagement. So we'll help them get ready, even if they aren't completely ready when we do our assessment.
Okay. All right. So I know on the website they said something about you all are reducing. So what are your outcomes? What's your outcomes that you can really say, hey, we really doing the doggone thing and changing some things? And even though you have outcomes that come maybe, I don't know the time frame, but how do you help them to maintain it? Do you give them the tools to continue when you guys are gone? So you change them, the percentage goes down, you guys run away. I don't mean it like that, but you guys leave. And then what do you give them? What tools do you give them so that they can be on them, do it themselves?
But you bring up a good point. So typically what happens with government is they'll do a project and then they'll go away. That's not what we do. We're not about that life at Cure Violence Global. So we help them by providing ongoing training and technical assistance. In some cases, for example, in New York, so we've been working in New York for over 15 years now. And so we'll help them get up and running. And then each year we'll do what we call booster trainings or recertifications to make sure they're implementing the model based on the fidelity of the model that was created. So we never just drop a jurisdiction because one, we know that the environment where individuals live, it changes consistently, right? And so, constantly. And so we want to make sure that we're continuing to monitor what's happening in those communities. And we rely on law enforcement data to help us better understand how violence is changing in a community. So we need to tweak our program to better meet the needs of the people living in the community. We'll be able to do just that. And so what you oftentimes find with our sites is you have individuals who are justice involved. In some cases, some individuals may have, a sixth grade education, but we help them upwardly mobilize to the point where they're actually implementing a performance management, quality improvement initiatives, utilizing the data that we collect.
Okay, all right. So do you see, I know I named a few places here, but and you already said it that you're not about that life. I love that you all don't go away. I love that. But so you do see yourself moving into East St. Louis. How do you all do you use the same plan for everyone in Baltimore, New York, New Orleans? Or do you, like you said, the assessment and that determines what type of plan you use? Or am I using the wrong word? How do you determine what that person needs? Only by that assessment, right? And sometimes they need more or less, or how do you do that?
Right. So based on several factors. So when we do the readiness assessment, one of the things we look at is the type of staffing pattern they'll need for their Cure Violence site. And that will be determined by one, the demographics in the area, as well as the population density. In some places, you have people that are spread out more. For example, you look at compare, for example, St. Louis to a city like Chicago or New York. St. Louis is much less dense than from a population standpoint than those other cities. And so we take several factors into consideration, and then we work really closely with local government to develop the ideal plan. One of the things that we have to be mindful of is, as we talk about health and social justice, we really have to make sure that the resources get to the communities that need it the most. So those most vulnerable communities are the communities that we really want to focus on, because that's where you typically have the highest incidence of firearm related violence. And so, but what you typically see, similar to what we saw during COVID, right, was you have these resources that need to go to the most vulnerable population, but then you have people who already have access to one of the same resources. Wow. Like, no, it's not for you right now. So we have to make that very clear when we go into communities, because oftentimes you'll have resources being swiped away or swept away and going to places that really already have access. And again, that really defeats the purpose. So we're really adamant about that. And I want to go back to your previous question where we asked about the data. So for our data, so we've had several independent evaluations that have been conducted on the cure violence model from organizations such as the Department of Justice, the John Jay Institute of Criminology, and other several organizations to speak to the effectiveness and efficacy of the model that has been created. And so with that, we've averaged roughly 40 to 70% reduction in shootings and killings in communities that implement the model based on according to the fidelity.
Well, I can't wait till you come to East St. Louis because I'm very interested. I wanted to know about this, okay? I was looking for you, and I talked to our good friend, Yolanda Jones. She said, no, he ain't doing that no more. He doing something with some violence. I said, what? that's how I got this, because I'm like, I didn't know that, but I'm happy that you're there. I'm happy, and I did go to the website. I love that picture where you standing right in the middle and they all around y'all, around you. I'm like, that's a team there,
Right.
you all look serious. So you guys need to go there to www.cvg.org and check them out. I love the fact that you all they have to raise their hand and say, we need help. Okay. Right. And I know you guys I know you got a lot of staff, but you still have to determine, even though they raise their hand, do we need to go in there? Is that correct as well? Or do you just go and do assessment on everybody? Or how do you do that if they raise their hand and say, I need you?
No, there is a process. So when they raise their hand, we allow them to ask their questions. Then we have, in most cases, we have ongoing dialogue with the jurisdictions before we actually go on site to do the readiness assessment, because there's some preparation that needs to be made before my team goes down. So we like to do things in decent and in order.
That's
so
right.
We don't like to be wasting resources or wasting people's time.
No.
We want to make sure our process is as efficient as possible, because one of the things we realize and we take to heart is that people's lives are depending on us to make the right decisions and not to squander resources at the local government, because those are taxpayer dollars. And so as a former government official, I really take that to heart, and I understand the need for not only to to have a certain level of transparency, but also to show the community what the return is for their investment.
You're right. Now, this has been good. I've had a wonderful time with all you guys, Okay, so, but it's one thing you said, okay, when you fill out this form, and I want you to elaborate on that just a little bit, as we come to a close here. You says everyone has a role to play in creating safer and healthier communities. How do you unpack that a little bit for everyone and let everybody, they do have a role. We know we do, but what exactly did you mean by that when you said it?
And so oftentimes when you think about, health issues or public health issues, we want to point fingers and say that's their responsibility and not own our own role in helping address the situation. And so oftentimes I think, government has some blame to play to acknowledging this as well, is by not giving community members a platform to really share their plight and share their concerns around what's happening in their neighborhoods. And unfortunately, what has happened over time is that we've adjusted to the point where, hearing a shooting every night in our neighborhood is deemed to be normal. And so part of what we have to do in our own homes is to accept the fact that, this is not normal. Hearing a gunshot every night is not normal. Hearing about people getting murdered in our neighborhoods is not normal. And so that's one thing that everyone can do. Accept the fact that this is not normal. Then start, the other thing that I encourage individuals to do is to understand the history of violence in this country. And then start having frank discussions about that within your home. I think, oftentimes people wait and hear about the history of this nation when they're my age, right? And it's too late. We really need to highlight the true history of the United States for individuals at an early age. We have a bright history in some capacity, but we also have a very dark history, and we need to acknowledge and accept both. and be very transparent about that to the generations coming behind us, so that they can really do a better job than we've been able to do as it relates to addressing social determinants of health, which includes violence.
Wow, beautiful, man. Boy, wow, okay. You didn't gave me something to think about here. Linda Whitlow said, great information, awesome purpose. Wow. I've had a wonderful time with you, Dr. Echols. You're extremely smart. I mean, it's like, okay.
God is good, right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love to understand the history of violence, that it's not normal. For, my sons were telling me something about what they had to do as a child. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. Okay. But it was just like, really? And those things right there affect you throughout the rest of your days.
They do.
It does. We didn't even talk about the effects of trauma and all that stuff, but all that stuff is in all of this. Is one big ball again. All this is in there. So a lot of I'm hearing is that you also have to re-educate people.
Yes.
On, how to do it. I mean, we talked about re-education about violence tonight. We talked about the re-education about learning how to eat soup. Okay. So all this stuff plays a part in all this and stuff. So, okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you greatly for coming on. And some of my guests have as they said, dipped off, which is okay. Nevertheless and stuff, I'm so happy to have you guys on here. I see Mr. Shawn Lovings. Mr. Shawn, I'll put you up here now. Is there anything that you guys unmute yourself, please? Is there anything that you want to add at the end of this? Unmute yourself, Mr. Shawn. Okay, there you go. Is there anything you want to add or?
I just want to say, again, thank you for the opportunity. And, it's always a beautiful thing to see Black men standing strong and speaking on what they're great at, and then definitely being, someone that is, very community oriented, to hear all of us who come from, 3 of us out of the 4 from HBCUs, that's a huge thing, because that's what we were taught.
Right.
And most folks don't understand that. That's what we were taught. That's why I went there, and, I applaud Dr. Echols and what he's doing, and, Marilyn, what you're doing, and allowing Black men to have the opportunity to use your platform to speak about our gifts. Thank you for having me, and having us, for that matter.
Yeah.
I didn't add that I was a chef too, so I was just like,
I didn't put it in there.
I was like, I'll back up, I'm gonna let them have the platform, but I see Mr. Brucey doing his thing.
Okay, yeah, I knew you was a chef too, so I didn't put it in there. Okay, but I know you are one too. But I like, in the words of Angie Stone, is a Black brother. I love y'all. I do, and it's so important that we show what you're doing. To me in the community. So as I was thinking about my show, I said, "Ooh, I ain't had no Black brothers on here and stuff, and they coming on slamming. Okay, looking good. I mean, doing what they need to be doing." And that's what's so important. Okay. Annabelle said, thank you for such valuable information shared on this evening. Appreciate your sharing, and that's what's important. That's the only way we're going to move forward and stuff, is we have to share what we're doing. People don't know what people doing out here, because people don't take the time to, one, listen. They scrolling through Facebook so fast, trying to see whatever. Instagram, they want to see a picture. You know what I'm saying? But they need to really stop. We are really doing some good works out here. You
Right.
Talking about etiquette, Shawn, and Dr. Echols is talking about violence. Come on, but why should I pick up a fork? I don't even know what a fork is. I don't even care about no fork. I'm trying to dodge a bullet. Okay. So that's a fact. Okay. Right. I ain't even trying. I'm not trying. And furthermore, I might not have no food. Come on, let's go there. To even pick up with a fork. So all this stuff plays together in my mind, So, but then again, thank you guys so much for coming on. And as I started at the beginning of my show, if you haven't voted, please go out and vote. It's the right thing. A lot of people have suffered for our vote, and we need for you to do your vote. And when you say my vote doesn't count, yes, it does count. Okay. And furthermore, you're not the counter. Just do your part going on and vote. So until next time, I appreciate you guys. I'll be back on November the 21st, and I should have two ladies on. I'm going to have Dr. Don Porter and Linda Mitchell, and we're going to be talking about thriving and surviving and things of that nature. So until then, I am Marilyn Green. Hey, I am the girl behind Girl Who Don't You Know. So thanks so much, and you guys have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
You as well.
Sure. Bye-bye.